Hi guys, so this is Sister Wives Conversation, just coming in again, totally informal like we do with Below Deck now. So we're going to jump into the Sister Wives Conversation right now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say about this episode is I think she just thinks I'm hot and that I have these rock hard pecs and 6-pack abs. The fuck? I had never laughed so hard in my life as in that moment. He comes out with these dingers every season, and this was the season's. Last season's was the knife in the kidneys, and I'm like, wow, sir. But let's go wife by wife. Luckily, we didn't have a lot of Robin this episode, thank the Lord. So we really only have the three to talk about. So I'll talk about Mary first. So Mary, I think she's doing what's best for her in moving to the B&B. I'm happy she's moving ahead with that. So I'm 100% all for it. There's nothing holding her in Flagstaff, and she knows it. And the fact that she still says that, like, she doesn't want to, quote unquote, abandon her relationship with Cody. And I'm like, he's abandoned the relationship with you years ago. So, like, there's nothing here holding you. So I'm happy she's doing it. So yeah, all the power to her. I liked how My Sister Wives Closet made a little bit of a comeback here. So yeah, good. I'm happy for her in that she's doing what's right for her. The one thing I'll mention that we don't obviously see this week, we see next week, Robin kind of like saying, basically don't leave and do what you gotta do here kind of thing. And it's like, how can you be so selfish? There's nothing keeping her here. Her marriage has imploded and has been in the stage of implode for the past just under 10 years now. There's no point. There's no point. And it's selfish of her to expect Mary to stick around for that. Like, I don't understand why she has this expectation. And it's clear that, Cody doesn't care what she does. But we'll get to him in a minute. But, yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm happy she's making that move, and I'm hoping with this, we will see her finally get to the point where she's done. And I think that will be happening from what I've heard, from other podcasts, that we are going to see it, and I'm happy for it. So it's basically all I have to say on Mary. I don't think I'm missing anything. Christine. So with Christine, I'm happy to see that she is going to be seeing a matchmaker, although I'm confused a little bit because she says in this moment that she isn't ready to date. So why are you going to a matchmaker? Because I feel like that's what happens. You date. But whatever makes her happy makes me happy. I'm happy to see it. And she's ready to start a process, I guess, and more power to her. It's not easy. And I also don't need to picture Tony trying all flavors. I don't need that in my life. Anyway, I don't think there's much else. The only thing I'll say, I kind of will segue into Janelle, is maybe it's kind of going a little ahead here, but the only thing I had an issue, I'm starting to kind of see is one minute we kind of see, and we'll talk about Janelle saying that she isn't 100% letting go, but then when she is with Christine, maybe some time has elapsed, we don't know, but she's with Christine and she says, I don't want to be married anymore. So I'm starting to wonder, and this is not on Christine, this is more on Janelle, but I'm starting to wonder if Janelle is kind of following fashion here. I mean, I'm not upset about it. I want him to be miserable, but like, I'm just curious about that. So let's segue into Janelle. So Janelle, I wasn't expecting her to say that she was going to separate but still be with him, I guess. Like work on the situation, work on the problems with him, but just stay separate, which fine. And he seems to take that well. It's just, well, you guys, we can, I guess, I don't care. But like he's taking it well. He said that's more than Christine did. I mean, it's hard for me to not understand what he's talking about here, just because like Christine was kind of the wife that had to have her way. I always felt that way about Christine, but at the same time, I think there's a lot more that was going on that's not just on her in this case. But I didn't really have an issue with that, with him saying that. But again, at the same time, it's kind of like they're having this conversation, they're talking about everything, and he says like, you know, my adult children, I can't tell them what they can and can't do, blah, 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 whatever the hell. And I'm just like, okay, but yeah, or, you know what I mean? And then for him to say to her that, or maybe he didn't say it to her, I can't remember, but for him to say that, you know, my older children don't need me in the same way as my younger children. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, yes, your older children don't need you in the same way, but they still need you. It's just different. And I think really and truly, this is a father who doesn't know how to handle adult children, which is probably the main reason he became a polygamist in the first place, because he can constantly have small children. He can constantly have that. Now, he still has the children under 18, but he has more children that are over the age of 18. And I just think he doesn't know how to handle them. I think that's the main thing. He just doesn't know how to be a father to older children. I think that's the main thing here. And then him kind of saying that, I can't remember which one it was, but one of the sons called, as we know already, called Robin and, you know, blamed her for the COVID stuff. I mean, were they going over and beyond what the CDC said? 100%. But I don't know. I understand their frustration and finding someone they can blame, but I know for a fact, whether we agree with him or we don't agree with him, we know if we were to talk to an adult in that way when it's not warranted, because I don't know if it was warranted, I don't know if Robin did something or said something to piss the kids off, but if it wasn't warranted and they're talking to her in this way, worse things would have happened than him not talking to the kids. Now, how he's handled it since then, I don't agree with, but I don't disagree with him saying you need to apologize. And that's over and beyond whether or not we agree. Because I agree. I don't think necessarily Robin was pushing it, but I think Robin was encouraging it and was the only one encouraging it. So I think he really piggybacked on that. And trying to save his children from COVID because they could die. And it's like, okay, yes, people are dying from COVID. No doubt about it. But there were more people getting COVID and surviving COVID than not. So, you know, he took it to an extreme. There's no doubt. The other thing, though, that I, again, hate to agree with him on, but I do agree with him on, is, and I'm not saying he should have agreed with them kicking the kids out or anything like that if they didn't have the means to be kicked out or anywhere to go to if they were kicked out. I find some parents will just leave it at that, or too quick to kick their children out of their homes when it's not the way to go. But I don't disagree with him saying you can't fucking socialize during a global pandemic, potentially get COVID, bring it home. I'm supposed to be coming home to spend time with you, spend time with Janelle, and then go back to Robin, who has small kids who could catch this. And then not to mention, there was no way of knowing how certain conditions or illnesses could be affected by COVID. And with her older son being autistic, it's just, we don't know. We don't know. Or if there was any other thing going on. Like, actually you may not know that, like, for example, my mom aside, obviously, because, she had her own issues, but like even my brother had to be like, okay, he's had pneumonia when he was younger. His lungs are not at the capacity of what they could have been if he didn't have pneumonia. And we didn't know how COVID would affect him. You have to think about those things. So I don't disagree. And I'm not talking about them working, because if they are working, making a living, you're masking up, that's fine, whatever. But not all of us got to be able to see our partners. And they were out there and living life with their girlfriends or whatever. That's the problem. That's the main problem. And I don't disagree with them in the height of the global pandemic. I had to be careful too. I didn't live in the home with I'm not going to use his name, my boyfriend. But you still had to be careful. You get to a point, yes, where you lose your mind. There's no denying that. But, when you're dealing with small children, yeah, yeah. So they were never doing the right thing. So I don't disagree with him on that. I think Janelle was too lenient on them on that. So I don't disagree with him there. It's just how he's handled it since. You know what I mean? And that all aside, it doesn't mean that you can't spend time with Savannah, call Savannah on Christmas, give your child a Christmas gift. It doesn't change any of those things. So I don't disagree. On the other hand, with Janelle saying, my kids, you're not in my kid's life, your kid's life. You're not in their lives. There's this tension, and you're creating more tension now with Savannah. So how do I maintain a relationship with you? you know? I don't understand why she misses him. I just don't. I don't get it. What do you miss? You miss what was, you don't miss what is. So, I think I've covered a lot. I don't think I have much more to say, unless there's anything that you jog my memory on, but yeah, I think covered everything. So yeah.
All right. So when it comes to Cody and his six pack and his nice pecs, and no, disgusting. Like, Christine isn't into that. She doesn't want that anymore. Like, she's not attracted to you. For me, if someone was to say that I am not sexually attracted to you or physically attracted to you, we're done. Like, I'm not going to waste my time. Like, the moment you tell me that you are no longer attracted to me in a sexual or physical manner, then there's no point in a marriage or in a relationship, because I'm not going to stay with you. So him saying that, he's an idiot. Like, he's a complete fool. Like, I had a laugh at that as well, and I'm just like, you're an ass. And funny you mentioned, because, like, oh, the knife in the kidney. Shut up. Oh gosh. Just, he's so immature and so childish and dumb. Just stupid. Stupid. Okay, so when it comes to Mary, I am very, very, very happy with her decision and her choices, moving to the B&B and doing what she needs to do. And mentally, she knows that Cody doesn't want anything to do with her or any of that aspect. Like, she knows, like, for so long, this person has been, giving you hints and telling you straight up, like, there's nothing there. Don't want anything with you. There's nothing for us anymore. Goodbye. We're done. I understand that she was hoping and hoping and hoping and praying on it and so forth and whatnot. But, at some point in your life, you have to come to a conclusion, be like, hey, this person really and truly does not want me. No matter how much I try, no matter how much I, talk and wish and hope and stuff like that, it's just not. This person is not going to change his attitude towards me. And that's, that's okay, because he's not obligated to change his mind, his opinion, his feelings, his thoughts. He doesn't have to, so I'm happy for her and I'm proud of her that she's actually, finding a way to go on about her life. Now, if she wants to continue a friendship with Robin, fine, so be it. Them two can have that friendship. I don't think there's any harm. Well, I don't think there's any problem with them having a relationship. I do think that there is harm, because her, continuing to be friends with Robin and stuff like that, Robin is still attached to Cody by marriage and these children and so forth. So to me, that's just like, you're still kind of hurting yourself in a way, because, this woman is with a person that you want to be with and that you still have love for and care for. And, you want things with this person, but this person doesn't want you. But here's this woman who has everything that you want from this man. And, I think it's kind of hurtful, because she still has to deal with that if she is going to maintain that friendship with Robin. So yeah. When it comes to Janelle and Cody sitting down and having that conversation, I feel that she misses the physical him. That's what I feel that she misses. Him in her bed and them having the conversations, the talking, the cuddling, the this, the that, the third. I think she misses that aspect of it. Now, could she be following in Christine's footsteps into leading a divorce, or doesn't, or wants to continue being separated from Cody? Probably, because Janelle is the only friend that Christine have. They only have each other pretty much, and the two of them don't speak to Mary, don't speak to Robin, and so forth. Like, she's the only person that she has. So I can kind of see where she's going in that direction of, hey, maybe, I should follow Christine. I think I need to follow Christine and, do what's right for me and what's best for me. Now, she has no ties. The only tie that she has is with Cody. I don't think that she needs to stay in Flagstaff because you have this person that, is so butthurt about, what's her face, about Christine leaving. And that's all he cares about. Like, that he's so in pain and hurt. But what about her pain and hurt? But yeah. Him not speaking to his daughter, like, since her birthday is absolutely insane to me. Him not trying to reach out to her or connect with her or anything of that nature. That is, I find that very upsetting and very hurtful. It doesn't matter how old you are, as a child. Like, you could be 6, 7, 28, 30, 40. You're going to need your parents. You still want your parents. You still need your parents. So it's hard to know that, oh, Cody is saying that, oh, my little children need me more. And, I don't really have to attend to my adult children. Your adult children still need you. They need you in certain aspects, whether to shave or be a man, or this is what a man does, or, that father-daughter bond, how a man is supposed to treat a woman type of thing. So I think that he's completely wrong for saying that his older children or his adult children don't need him. I don't agree with that at all. When it comes to Christine and her children and, her sons blaming Robin for this COVID thing and, the whole thing of what the CBC said and so forth and whatnot, the family did take it to more extreme levels. And I understand, everyone at that time had to stay away from people and had to, stay in your corner, stay in your lane and this and that and third and whatnot. It was hard. It was hard for everybody, people who were not on a TV show, just families in general, people who have loved ones, relationships, friendships. It was very difficult for everyone. So I don't blame Cody for putting measures or strict measures, for his family. And I don't necessarily blame Robin either because she followed what the protocol was. And at some point in time, you have to respect what the man of the house is saying, like he is trying every bit of his way to protect his family. And if Christine couldn't see that with letting her boys do this and that and the third, then that's an issue right there because, if you're working, fine. But the fact that you're going out there and socializing with people that are not in your circle type of thing, that's not the best of things to do in that time because you don't know who has it from who doesn't have it, who's asymptomatic or whatever the case may be. Like it's hard. So I do agree with her being very lenient with her boys. I don't think she should have been that lenient when it came to her children or her boys or however she wants to put it that way and whatnot. So when it comes to Christine, her saying, okay, she wants to do a matchmaker and here's all of my information. Here's all of my family history, this, that, and the third, and blah, 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 blah. But then you're going back and saying that you're not ready to date. So if you're not ready to date, what's the point of you meeting with a matchmaker? What's the point here? But we know that the show's kind of older than real life right now because, she's engaged, she's getting married and so forth and whatnot. So clearly she was ready at that point in time, or on her own time, she was ready to mix and mingle and test the waters and stuff like that. Not saying that she had to go and test every ice cream flavor out there. Thank goodness she didn't do that. She has more class than her daughter's husband, because that's disgusting. I wouldn't want to be with a person that has tested every single ice cream flavor out there. That's just not my cup of tea. No ma'am, no ham, no thank you. Nasty. Your balls should have dropped off. But yeah, it's just weird that, one point she's ready to say, hey, I want to, be with a matchmaker. I want to see a matchmaker and see what's out there for me. And then 2 you're saying, hey, I don't think I'm ready to even date or to do this or to do that. But, things change overnight sometimes. But, I'm happy for her now that she's in a better place, a better mindset. She seems to be happy in her engagement and her relationship with this new person and, getting married. So I am happy for them. Cody, on the other hand, there's not much I have to speak on him. I do agree with him wanting to protect his family. That's your number one priority, is to protect your family. Now, I will say that I do agree with you on saying that he doesn't know how to be a father to his adult children. Adult children go through so much more things than, little children at this point in time. Little children just want to jump around and play and be a pain in the ass, where you have adult children that need you. Not necessarily need your attention, but they need your love and they need your guidance. And they may want to ask you questions that they are unable to ask their mothers. So I can't agree with the fact of what he's saying on, that his bigger children, doesn't need him as much and this and that and third. That's not true in my opinion. I don't agree with that. But, I'm interested in seeing the next episode of where Janelle says to him, says to Christine that she doesn't want to be married to Cody anymore and so forth and whatnot. So that I'm excited to see, and I want to know the rest of the story and what's going on. And it's wow. There's a lot. I'm very happy that Robin wasn't 100% in this episode, thank God. But yeah, it's a lot of things are going in the direction that Cody doesn't want them to go in. But hey, when it comes to Mary, he can give two shits. But when it comes to Janelle and Christine, it's just not going for him how he would want it to be. But if you're showing favoritism to one wife and don't give two shits about one wife, and then, are trying to figure out life with the other two that don't necessarily want you anymore, it's like, where's your priorities? Your priorities are not with your older children. Your priorities are not with your two other wives, or one with your ex-wife and soon to be ex-wife at this point. And then you have Mary, who's just stragging along like a little deer in headlights. Don't know what to do. So that's my take on the episode, and I'm ready for next week's episode, so we shall see what's going to happen.
Okay, so just as a level you should know, for those who don't know, this Sister Wives season was filmed back in late 2021, and from my understanding, I got this from another podcast. I believe it's Sister Wives Podcast, Life Should Be Multiplied. I think I got that correct. I listened to a collab between them and Reality Gaze, so don't actually listen to their podcast, but from my understanding, it started in late 2021 into late 2022, around November 2022, which is just me giving that information since Letitia mentioned that it is a little old on what we're seeing here, because we do know that Christine is engaged to someone new now and is going to be getting married soon. So just to preface that, just wanted to put that timeline out there. But that is the end for this week's Sister Wives. Well, technically last week's Sister Wives. Again, apologize for this being late, but hopefully we should be able to get the newest week which was tonight's episode, out to you a lot sooner than we did this week. And of course, as mentioned in another podcast, can't remember which one, I guess I recorded 2 others today, that I will be putting these out now as bonus episodes, similarly to what I'm doing with Below Deck Med now. So it won't be tapped on to the end of another episode. It will be its own singular episode now as a bonus episode. So with that being said, that's it here, guys. Thank you again. Gonna keep it completely informal, but you can rate, subscribe to this podcast. You can rate, review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. New website, solo.to/realityt ×2. And also have a new podcast called Next Date Podcast with my friend Mikkel. All of that information for that new podcast will be in the show notes again. All of the show note information will be there. But otherwise, I think that's it. So that's it for now, guys. Bye.